All right, time for some business news now. The Competition Authority of Kenya will not conduct a full review of Vodacom Group's proposed acquisition of an additional 20% stake in Safaricom, leaving the transaction to be assessed by regional competition regulators in a move that signals a shift in how large cross-border mergers involving Kenya are handled. NTV's Brian George reports.
Vodacom has signed an agreement to buy a 15% stake from the government and another 5% from its parent firm Vodafone Group, aiming to raise its ownership in Safaricom from the current 35% to a controlling 55%. The total value of the deal is 272 billion shillings. Instead of requiring a formal merger notification, which would have triggered a detailing inquiry and attracted notification fees, the Competition Authority of Kenya said the parties are only required to inform the authority of its transaction. The deal is now under review by the East African Community Competition Authority (EACCA) and the COMESA Competition and Consumer Commission (CCCC), both of which have been formally notified. The approach departs from the long-standing practice where transactions involving Kenyan firms were first reviewed by CAK before being escalated to regional regulators in cases where the merger parties operated in more than one country.
Safaricom itself is not a counterparty to the transaction. The company is not selling shares, setting pricing or negotiating valuation. Our role is limited to complying with the obligations applicable to a listed company under Kenyan law and capital markets regulations. In that regard, Safaricom facilitated the publication of a notice of intention on the 4th of December 2025 as required under the Capital Markets Act and the Capital Markets Public Offers Listing and Disclosures Regulations.
Traditionally, in such instances as was seen with the recent merger between Nigeria's Access Bank and the National Bank of Kenya, each authority would independently conduct its own inquiry and issue a determination. That system, however, has been revised following the agreements among regional competition regulators and local regulators last year to eliminate double notification, a process that businesses have long complained increased compliance costs and prolonged deal timelines. Under the revised framework, companies whose transactions meet specified regional thresholds are now required to notify only the relevant regional regulator, while national authorities are informed as a matter of record. In an email response, CAK Director General David Kemei said the Safaricom transaction met the criteria for regional notification because the parties operate in multiple countries and have a combined annual turnover exceeding $50 million, equivalent to about 6.4 billion shillings.
While the Competition Authority of Kenya will not conduct the formal merger review, it will still assess the merger's effect on competition and consumer welfare in Kenya and submit those views to the regulators and other inquiring bodies. Brian George, NTV, Nairobi.